Stats, MVP, Rooftop, TP, and Big T.
What's happening, everybody? And I'm your man, Big T. Once again, it's time for At Home with the Crossover. And for those of you who don't know, I'm alongside my tag team partners, the usual cast, talking about the First Lady, the Queen, the Doctor, Mama, none other than TP is in the house. TP, what's going on?
Hey, everyone. Blessings. Hope you're well.
Blessings. There we go. Love that background, TP. Love that background. Then we got the man that brings the ag swag to the show as usual. We talk about none other than Aggie P. Aggie P, what's up?
Man, them Aggies, it's just hashtag winning. We winning everything. Bowling, track, Big T.
Yeah, hey, win the golf tournament.
Aggie segment.
There we go. Hey, and then we got Ray Charles once again. We're talking about Radar's in the house winners. Ray Charles Shades. Radar holding things down for us, keeping us on line with the count. What's up, man?
Narrow is the way when I got to get out of the way of those Aggies, okay? Narrow is the way. I'm here, Big T. I'm ready for the show. Now we got those Aggies out of the way. Let's go. Let's have the show.
All right. Love it, love it, love it. Then, of course, we got the man bringing everything together in the digital world. We're talking about Birdman. Bird, what's going on?
Man, I'm here because I love y'all.
Oh, man, we love you too, Bird. We love you too, man. Hey, and together, we are the Tunnel Crew, watching everything that happens inside and outside the tunnel, leading to the lines of competition in the world of sports. And I tell you what, we start this show off like we always do, with the hot topics. The hottest stories of sports might not be what everybody else is talking about, but it's things we want to talk about. We begin tonight's show with, hey, I mean, nothing's bigger than the NCAA tournament right now, right? I mean,
that's right.
Even though they're in the bubble, even though they got limited fans in attendance, even though we're in the middle of a pandemic, they've gotten it done, because so far we are down to 2 that are in the Final Four, and we got 2 more who will punch their tickets tonight. A couple of games tip off. Matter of fact, I think Gonzaga, their game should be tipping off here in just a moment. So, but as for the games that took place over the weekend, ACC coming into the tournament has 7 teams, second most of any conference. They had 2 make it to the Sweet 16, which, you know, not bad, you know. Well, they gone. I mean, both of them.
Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos. Both of them took ugly L's. You know, you had Buddy Boeheim trying to get the 3-pointers down like he did in the first couple of rounds, and they went missing. And Florida State, you know, their 3-point shooting went missing completely as a team. And they couldn't knock anything down from the outside. So our last 2 hope for the ACC are gone. Both of them are out of there. But hey, number 2, Houston, punched their ticket to the Final Four. First time in 37 years. 1984 was the last time they made it with 5 slammer jammer, you know, with Akeem and Clyde and all those guys. First time they've been there since 1984. And they're the first team ever to face 4 double-digit seeds to get there. So some people might say they had an easy road, you know, but the way the upsets were, I can't say that, you know. And then Baylor, number 1 Baylor, took out scrappy Arkansas last night, 81-72, setting up a Texas showdown in the Final Four next weekend between Baylor and Houston. Any comments, any thoughts on what the one half of the Final Four set?
Let's go, Houston.
Go Houston.
Got to be in the championship. Do not let me down. Please don't.
It looks like we're getting back to basketball too, Big T. It looks like everybody's getting physical. The referees are in the rhythm. The players are in the rhythm. It's like in sync now. You know, everybody's like getting a feel for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody's getting it done.
I do want to say this since we're on Baylor. I don't know if y'all watched the women's NCAA.
Oh yeah.
But them last few seconds when UConn took over is very questionable.
Oh yeah.
When they beat Baylor. So
and we definitely get ready to hit on that. We
the look of the day is this. That's the look of the day.
Trust me, we get ready to hit on that.
And pardon me, Aggie P here. I don't want to cut in, but NC State suffered a big upset. You know, they were supposed to win. And they lost. Yeah. That was a big loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and once again, and even on the women's side, the ACC not looking too good. We do have one left. Louisville is still alive. They play tonight, and so we'll see what happens there. But basically, to me, I know Gonzaga hadn't played yet, but so far, what we've seen out of them, Baylor and Gonzaga are definitely the cream of the crop. You know, those two teams, they've been the cream of the crop all season. And I think they've proven it so far in the tournament. They're the cream of the crop. So we'll see what happens moving forward there. Speaking of that, like we said, Zags, they kick off with USC here in a few minutes. And Michigan, number 1 Michigan, plays number 11 UCLA later on tonight. So that's your men's setup right there. Hey,
go ahead. What about Aggie P? Didn't Aggie P have the Zags on his chart? Didn't he have him on his tournament league sheet? Huh?
You talk about the win?
Radar, I really don't want to talk about my
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I way down there in the cellar and I don't like being last. So I'm trying to keep my emotions out of this. So,
I didn't mean to turn the light on.
Let's go on with the show.
Say, let's go on.
Let's go on with the show.
I didn't mean to turn the light on you.
All right, well, moving on to the women's tournament. And last night, we saw number 3 Arizona beat number 4 Indiana, and it was a matchup of teams who have never been to the last 4 before. And so either one of those teams, whoever won, was going to be a first timer in the Final Four. And so, like I say, Arizona took care of business there. But the big game was the one that came after it. And that game featured number 2 Baylor on a 20-game winning streak going up against number 1 UConn. And the Huskies fell behind by 10 points in the third quarter, and then went on a 19-0 run. It came all the way back and went on to hold off Baylor 69-67. But the game was not without controversy, because with 5 seconds left, Dejanay Carrington, was fouled. And it was clearly a foul. There were 2 women up on her. One slapped her in the face, one slapped on the arm. They were pushing her in the chest, I mean, the elbow, she basically got hit everywhere you could get hit, And a lot of
I didn't see that, Big T. I didn't see it.
You didn't see it, Aggie P.
Aggie P didn't see nothing.
I didn't see that.
I'm telling you, there was a lot of controversy about it after the game. A bunch of stars went on social media. LeBron James was out there and said that where was the foul? A lot of people posting things about that was a foul. And Gino Auriemma said, hey, I'm not going to apologize for it. He said, has LeBron James ever won a game off of a bad call and gave it back? He said, I don't think so. So, and then Kim Mulkey, she was asked about it, what her thoughts on it was. And she asked the reporter, what did you see? The reporter said, well, it looked like a foul. She said, well, write it like that. She said, write exactly what you said, So, hey, your thoughts, Tono Crew. What did you think? Did everybody see it?
That wasn't a basketball game. That was like John Cena versus Batista in WrestleMania. Where was the foul? I don't understand that. A lot of these sports.
Now, I'm gonna tell you where the foul was. The foul was when they circled it on. I don't know if you saw it, but they circled all the pictures where the foul was. You had 2 defenders in her face, and then you literally had a hand like this. You literally did.
Yeah.
So, whoever you're going for, you're going to say it was a foul, wasn't a foul. I don't think you can compare college to pros. I know everybody kind of values what LeBron says, but I mean, me personally, we're talking about women's basketball. Let's go to somebody else other than LeBron. Let's go to Sue Bird.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to some women. Let's ask the women who are the pros, what are their feelings about it? Let's go to Don Staley. Let's go to Charlotte Smith.
But once I agree with you, TP, you have a point. You have a valid point.
Yes, I do.
It might be the books behind you that's making you make good points today.
Well, hey, listen, I know this is a hot topic, so we are going to continue talking about this on the other side of the break. You're listening to At Home with the Crossover.
What's so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, The Joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. Be sure to catch this live at home edition of Crossover every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. while the pandemic is still going on. You can catch every member of the Tunnel Crew on YouTube at our YouTube channel, Love and Faith Radio. And once you're there, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the show. Tell your friends about it and check it out each and every week. Then you can find us on our original day and time on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. for the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. You can listen to that edition online at WLJFradio.com. You can also catch that version of the show on the Love and Faith 100.7 WLJF app, which is available both on Google Play and in the iTunes store. So make sure you catch both versions of the show each and every week, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. YouTube, and Thursday nights at 7 p.m. online or on the radio. All right, clear my throat there. Let's get back to the hot topics. And we were talking about the women's game and the controversial finish last night between Baylor and UConn. And, you know, real quick before we jump back into that, I want to mention that, you know, I think one of the things that's gotten lost here is UConn set an NCAA record, extended their own NCAA record, really is what they did. By going to their 13th straight Final Four. And the only closest program to that is the men's UCLA teams back in the 60s and 70s that went to 10 straight. So congratulations to UConn for extending that streak. And they'll be playing Arizona, who are definitely going to be underdogs next week when they match up against UConn. So, and speaking of the women's, tonight, matter of fact, right now, we got number 6 Texas taking on number 1 South Carolina to decide another part of the Final Four matchup. And then the big game tonight at 9 o'clock, number 2 Louisville taking on number 1 Stanford. That should be a clash of the Titans right there. So, all right, back to this controversial call. I'm gonna throw this out there. Stats, you didn't get a chance to add it to the conversation. Your thoughts? Did you see it?
I did not see it, but from what I heard, it was a pretty rough foul.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a little bit of the Baylor-Arkansas game last night, and there were some questionable calls in that game, both ends of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't totally shock me that they missed a call in the women's game. But I do feel like the tournament has had some moments of lapses in officiating.
Yeah.
Both tournaments.
TP, to piggyback off of something you said, I mean, I like the fact that you were saying, let's hear some, let's get the opinion of some of the women, you know, giants in the game, you know, why, which I think ESPN, they did bring, and I can't think of who it is right off the top of my head, but they had one of the former coaches on, and she talked about it and she broke it down and she said it was foul, but she also said, hey, you know, they missed some free throws, you know, they had some turnovers. She said, you know, you can't put it on that one call and say that's what lost the game for them, which I thought was a level-headed, you know, way of looking at things.
Yes.
Do y'all agree with her? And I wish I could remember who it was, but
I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot that's missed in women's basketball. Period.
yeah.
So I don't feel like it's there's just a lot that's missing. I mean, even down to the NCAA. So
yeah.
What do y'all think, crew?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I think that the women's game has definitely come a long way. But I remember back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, it was a lot more brutal than it is now. I mean, there were literally girls getting pushed down and sliding across the floor, getting floor burns, ball bouncing up the court, the other team picks it up and takes off, and no call. You know, I'm sitting there yelling, "Where's the call?" So, you know,
Hey, BT.
To coach's point, it's a part of the game.
Yeah,
that's why you have to make the play. You have to practice till you get it right, because that way you leave no room for error. And Aggie P can attest to that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when you look back at it, you know, like someone said, hey, you got to make the free throws.
Yeah.
You know, you can't make the simple fundamental mistakes like traveling and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, I just hate when games have to come down to the last shot or, you know, the last whatever. Then whenever one team loses, you just go in the locker room and that's the first thing you think about. Hey, football, man, we had to fumble on the 5.
You
know, basketball, man, I missed 4 free throws tonight.
Yep.
I don't usually miss free throws. So
so
that's kind of what we're looking at. I mean, hey, we all know we joke around about it, but it was a bad call. But you got to look at the business. You got to have UConn in the fold.
Yeah, say the business.
It's the business of it. You know, like you got to have Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. I mean,
right.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. We've been doing this. I mean,
if I'm playing against LeBron in the finals,
but hey,
you
know, turn your head.
It would be naive for me to go against LeBron in the finals and think I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Even if I got Kobe on my side, I'm gonna be like, Kobe, you're yesterday, he's today. You know, we might take an L.
If it comes down to the end, it's in doubt.
Right.
It's going to the superstar.
Or the biggest program that's been there the most.
I
scored 100 points, but I'm playing with Kobe. He's getting the MVP trophy. Am I right, Aggie?
Yeah, that's true.
Am I right? If I'm playing with Brady, he's getting the trophy.
Get the trophy. I wish I'd have thought about that before I did my picks or something. That's a whole nother thing, you know.
Hey, I had somebody tell me when I picked Kansas City to win, they said, I thought you said you were never picking against Brady again after that last one. And I was like, yeah, I went against my own rule.
Right. I mean, even when Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl, against the Carolina Panthers. Panthers have never played that bad a ball that year.
I know.
I mean, anyway. I don't want to get into it. Let's go on, Big T.
All right. Hey, so wrapping up the women's game last night, after the game was over, Kim Mulkey, the coach of Baylor, she unprompted, nobody asked her, you know, her thoughts or feelings on this. She just came out and said, you know, I think the NCAA, once the teams are set for the championship, the 4 teams in the men's and the 4 teams in the women, she said, I think the NCAA should skip the COVID testing. She said, because it would be terrible for these kids to get all this way and then not be able to play because they tested positive. She said, I think, you know, you got the 8 teams out there, you know, don't test them, let them battle it out, you know, and see who's the best. And of course, you know, that was a controversial comment, a controversial statement. Your thoughts on what Kim Mulkey said?
BT.
Yes, sir.
I don't understand. Her team just got eliminated. Why does she even care? Like, I would want them to not get it to the championship.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't let them play. We got cheated out of it. Don't let them play at all.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
I mean, what she said to me is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of out of here in right field.
Yeah.
I mean, because if somebody is positive, they can spread it to others.
Yeah.
And somebody could die from this.
But you know what?
For that Final Four, it's just a game.
You got to think about where her school is. You know, she's the head coach of Baylor.
Okay.
She's living in a state where they've opened everything up and said, you know, hey, no restrictions on nothing. You know, I mean, you don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to have limits on crowd gatherings. No restrictions. So that's the perspective she's coming from. You know.
Okay. I understand her statement now. Then okay.
I'm about to say, so basically, she's coming from let's go ahead and play and forget everything else type of standpoint.
Yep.
Right.
So you know, for some people, they want to eat, breathe, and do all of this to keep their job versus looking at it more so from their health. Yeah. You know, I look at that with is it the governor of Texas?
Yeah.
That's saying, look, I'm gonna open everything up. I mean, they're not thinking about people's health, but you know, they're just ready to go ahead and do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But we don't know behind the scenes that they're like, look, we need to go ahead and do this to get butts in the seats because we need the money or whatever. But not everybody's gonna look at COVID the same way. Not everybody's gonna take their health the same way.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like if you're gonna put your players in danger, nothing's worth it. You're not worth it. No scholarship or nothing is gonna be worth it. You can't play that.
Yeah. It sounds like she wants to take that Texas mindset, since that's where her school is, nationwide. She wants the whole nation to do what they're doing down there. So, you know, I thought it was a little strange for her to like unprompted. I mean, because it wasn't like somebody said, you think, you know, because of, you know, the possibility of testing positive, they should not. Nobody asked her. She just came off the cuff with that on her own. So a little bit strange, but you know, like I said, she's coming from that mindset of she's from Texas. That's where her school is from. So she's like, hey, if the governor's doing it, then we should do it, you know?
No wonder.
So, all right, let's move on to the NBA and LeBron James. We talked last week about him, you know, having that high ankle sprain and being out. And at the time, they said it was, you know, an indefinite amount of time. They didn't know. Well, they actually set a timetable on it, 4 to 6 weeks, which basically is going to be about the remainder of the season, you know? So he will be coming back probably right around playoff time. And
playoffs?
Yeah. Playoffs.
Assuming we make it.
Playoffs.
Assuming they make it, because they are dropping, they're dropping in the standings quick.
Yeah.
Because, you know, AD is still out too with the ankle injury. So,
Big
you know,
yes, sir. There is a silver lining to this.
What's that?
AD is cleared to practice.
Okay, all right.
They're saying that he could be back next week. All right. I've been here and I've been keeping up with it. So
all right. Well, we'll see what happens there. We talked about it before this season started. It was too short of off season for those guys, you know, coming off of the bubble and everything, and them going the distance and winning it all. And they're up in age, and AD's got an injury problem. So, you know, it's kind of playing out the way we said it would, you know, when we first talked about that thing early on. Sticking with the NBA, you had the trade deadline went down last Thursday, and, you know, a couple of mentionables here. The biggest moves that happened, because there's a lot of moves, but a lot of them were just, you know, mediocre moves, whatever. But the biggest moves that happened, the Orlando Magic, they traded Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets. And the Nuggets also acquired JaVale McGee from the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that kind of sets Denver up there a little bit, because right now they're currently 28-18, fifth place in the West, a game and a half behind, like we said, the sliding Lakers. So if the Lakers keep sliding like they're doing, the Nuggets might bypass them. Adding these guys will help them, certainly. And then the Heat, who they've caught fire as of late. You know, they signed Victor Oladipo, and they got him in a trade from the Rockets. And then you had the Mavs, who got JJ Redick. And I know it doesn't, on the surface, doesn't seem like that's a huge move, but he's a shooter. He opens things up for you know, their stars, Luka and Kristaps Porzingis. So, you know, that kind of sets them up and helps them to make that final push for the playoffs. And then you got Rondo, playoff Rondo, got signed. He was traded from the Hawks to the Clippers. So, that's kind of a big move there. I know a lot of people look at him and say, he's old, he's only averaging 4 points a game, but he is playoff Rondo. That's why they call him that. He kind of shows up big come playoff time. So that was a big move there. And then finally, you had Andre Drummond. The Cavs bought his contract out, and the Lakers signed him. I think they were trying to do that to kind of bridge the gap between AD coming back. But hey, dude averaged 17.5 points a game, 13.5 rebounds a game. So he will help the Lakers. So any of these moves kind of blow anybody away, impress anybody? You think any of these moves makes anybody even more dangerous?
Big T.
Yes, sir.
Doc Rivers said himself, the Lakers are still the team to beat in the West.
Uh-huh.
He said the Lakers and the Clippers. When the playoffs come, the Lakers will show up. They're going to probably get through the regular season and then get 80 back and they'll get LeBron and Drummond and they'll be fine by the time we get to May. Mid-May, they'll probably start clicking as a team. My prediction, I don't know what Birdman thinks, but that's my prediction.
Yeah, I agree. The move to get him, to get Drummond, that was a good move because you got to fill that void with LeBron being out that amount of time and AD being out that amount of time. So that was a good move on their part.
What
Drummond? In the Nazareth are y'all talking about?
2 or 3 man, Big T. What is Drummond's position?
Oh, he's big man. He's center. And
so he's 2 big men in the middle.
Yeah. Or he can spot Davis when Davis comes back. And they probably thinking, take some wear and tear off of Davis, so maybe he can come off the bench. I mean, I would play them both at the same time. Not maybe the whole time, but some, But more than likely, he's kind of to take some of the pressure off of AD.
All right, Radar, go ahead. I'm gonna turn away. Go ahead, Radar.
I'm sorry. I want to know what in the Nazareth is Stats and Birdman talking about. AD's done. He's not coming back, man. He's in Cancun right now. They're Laker fans. I get it, but still,
that's it.
But LeBron's done. He's just coming back to pad his stats. But they're not gonna make a serious run.
I don't think he'll come back.
Really?
I don't think he is either, man. I don't. I
think I'm sorry, Laker fans. I think this is a wash season for you guys.
Brother,
just my opinion.
That's why they gave it to him last year. That was a consolation prize.
Right.
So take your ring, go sit down. Either the Nets or the Nuggets or Giannis, maybe. He might come out the gate this year. I don't know. I can only hope. But they are the best team in the East right now. Am I correct, TP? Have you checked the standings lately?
Well, hey, it's funny that you mentioned Giannis because they're going under the radar right now. They're flying under the radar. I think a lot of people look at them as, hey, we've invested too much in them the last few years. They keep going out early in the playoffs, so we don't believe in them now. And usually that's when a team comes out of nowhere and wins it, when people kind of give up on them.
And they got bad blood. Harden and Giannis got that bad blood from when Harden told Giannis all he do is dunk.
Yeah.
And I said, and that's incentive. That's just like when the Pistons was talking junk to that young Michael back in the day, and they awoken a lion. And I can only hope the best for Giannis, for him to do that, turn the corner. You know, that would be a great story.
TP.
Now that LeBron is out the way.
and you know what? Now that you say that about LeBron,
out with the old, in with the new.
Let me go back to when our show first started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very, very first show wasn't aired, but the very first one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that LeBron is going to retire in the next 2 years?
You know, if these injuries keep hitting him, because he went his whole career without injuries. In the last few years, injuries have been eating him up. So
slowly but surely.
I think I don't know what do anybody know what class his son? Because that rumor is.
So originally he was gonna do 4 years. He went to the Lakers, but now that we know his son is so close, I think he may do a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you. I know what you're talking about, Aggie, where they were saying you might want to play with his son. You know. Yeah. All right, listen up, everybody. You can catch this at-home edition of the Crossover every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. while the pandemic is going on. And you can catch us on Love and Faith Radio on our YouTube channel at Love and Faith Radio YouTube. And once you're there, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And then on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., you can catch the audio version of the Crossover. And you can do that online at WLJFradio.com, or you can do it on our app, 100.7 WLJF app. It's available on Google Play and in the iTunes store. When we come back, there'll be more of At Home with the Crossover.
What's so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometowninsurvice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, two locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry, join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
100.7 WLJF.
All right, welcome back to this at-home edition of the Crossover, and you can catch this version every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. and you can do that online on YouTube at our YouTube channel, Love and Faith Radio. And once you're there, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the show. Tell all your friends about it. Check it out each and every week. Then you can catch the original audio version of the show on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. And that is also at 7 p.m. And you can listen to that version online at WLJFradio.com. You can also catch that version of the show on our app, the Love and Faith 100.7 WLJF app. And it is available both on Google Play and in the iTunes store. So make sure to do that each and every week, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. on YouTube and Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on WLJFradio.com or the app. All right.
We want to thank all of our fans and thank everybody for supporting us. So whether you're online or on the radio, we just want to thank you for supporting us here at the Crossover.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, TP. Appreciate that. All right. Moving on now in our hot topics. We just got one little thing to wrap up before we move into our question of the day. There was a huge trade that went down last week between the Dolphins, 49ers, and the Eagles. Huge trade as far as draft stock. So Miami had the number 3 pick in this year's draft, the upcoming draft, which is next month. And they traded that pick to the 49ers, who had the 12th pick. They traded that pick for the 12th pick. Plus, man, the 49ers gave up a lot. 49ers also gave up, I think, like 2 or 3 number 1s in future drafts to move up there to number 3, which they also gave up, I think, a 3rd or something like that this year. And then Miami took that 12th pick and traded it to the Eagles to get their 6th pick. And they also gave up one of those number 1s to the Eagles, but they got, I think, a couple of number 3s or something like that from the Eagles. So, you know, this definitely tells you that San Francisco wants a quarterback. They went on record this week as saying, speculation that they were moving up to get a QB, and they went on record as saying, yes, this is about getting a quarterback. So they must feel pretty strongly about, one of four guys that everybody keeps talking about, And so they gave up a lot, I think. But, Tunnel Crew, what do y'all think about that move?
Didn't they just pay Garofalo a lot of money?
Yep. They paid him, at the time it was a record-setting contract. Of course, it's been obliterated with all these guys getting new deals lately. But
right.
Yeah, they traded. They gave him a huge deal when he first got there. Problem is he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, I would just okay. That's what I was going to say, Big T.
Can't stay healthy.
Okay. Wow. Big move, San Francisco. Who they gonna get? Sunshine?
Can't be Sunshine because what's the Urban Meyer came out this week and said, yeah, we're definitely leaning towards taking Trevor Lawrence #1 with Jacksonville. So can't be Sunshine. It sounds
he going #1. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds like your boy Mac Jones from Alabama is what everybody's talking about.
Big T.
Yes, sir.
I heard Zach Wilson. That's the name I heard. I heard Zach.
But see, I keep hearing the Jets want him at #2.
I heard both teams. I heard. That's what I heard.
So they might have to try to move up, make a deal with the Jets.
I'm just still trying to figure out how those two guys moved up ahead of Justin Fields after he showed what he could do in the past few years. I hope he falls to Carolina.
Yeah, his stock.
Oh, that'll be nice.
And I don't know why, I don't know if it's because Alabama made him look terrible, but look what he did against Clemson. He was playing injured in that Alabama game after what's his name, Stalsky or whatever, hit him in the back with the helmet, and he finished that game, and he was not 100% against Alabama. So I don't know if everybody's knocking him because of that. I don't know, but anyway, hey, NFL approved a 17-game season today. They said they're going to eliminate one of their 4 preseason games, so they'll only have 3 preseason games and add a regular season game to it, and that starts this season. So this upcoming season, they'll be playing 17 games. They're pushing the big game back 1 week, so they're going to continue to give everybody a bye, which means the regular season will go 1 more week into January, and they're going to push the big game back until the second Sunday of February instead of the first Sunday of February like it's been. Any thoughts on that?
See, I got one.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. They pushed it back to the week of Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Maybe they're like, let's get all our money in 1 week. Let's not do it in 2 weeks. Let's get it all this 1 week for like the next month and a half till April. And we got Easter. I'm just saying, I'm thinking like a businessman thinks it. Maybe that's the philosophy. Who knows?
You know something, Stats? I didn't even think about it. Hey, did anybody else think, because I used to always laugh at how the NFL season so nice and neatly wraps up the week before Valentine's Day, because there's a lot of making up guys have to do to their wives and their girlfriends and everything that following weekend. So I always thought, man, that's kind of perfect the way they wrap this thing up. Now they're messing things up, like you said. I never thought about that.
They can get more money from the man if he's broken up from his woman. I might as well do it now.
Right.
That's pretty good, Radar. That's pretty good.
Wow.
I was actually thinking that they were adding on an extra week because over time it would make up money that they missed out on due to COVID.
Yep.
So that's another week of adding on for advertising and everything. Yep. So if you give it more time, I mean, it'll just kind of even itself out financially. You're able to bring in some new businesses now that can advertise for an extra week.
Yeah.
Can charge a little more for an extra week for their advertising. But I'm not going to lie, what Stat said is great too. I mean, you're talking Valentine's Day. The Super Bowl is already held down south.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, if I was with a man, I wouldn't want him playing on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But,
well, how about watching it? I mean, that's supposed to be date night,
It's supposed to be, but hey, both people can get happy. If she wants to date, he wants ball, Happy marriage.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
All right, let's move on with our question of the day, because we talked at length earlier about the controversial call in the Baylor UConn women's game, and that led us to thinking about, because that game is not the only game where we've seen this happen. Over the last several years, we had the controversial no call in the NFC Championship game between New Orleans and the Rams. We saw that. And then, earlier this year in the big game, I remember here on this show, there was a lot of griping and complaining about how the refs were letting a lot of stuff go by the Buccaneers and calling everything on the Chiefs. And so that leads us to our question of the day. And the question of the day is this: do you believe that refs sometimes turn a blind eye when the stakes are the highest? Okay. Because it seemed like, all these controversial calls typically happen in championship scenarios. Either you're playing for the right to get to the championship, or you're in the championship and these no calls happen. So that's the question. I'm throwing it out there. Do referees turn a blind eye sometimes when the stakes are the highest?
It's all about entertainment. Everybody's trying to act like the WWE. Keyword entertainment. The WWE is scripted. Everybody's trying to act like, oh, you're going to tackle Tom Brady and we're going to pull a flag in the big game. Or you're going to step on LeBron's leg and roll it up a little bit and he's going to miss action. Like, that's not scripted. NBA is not scripted. NFL is not scripted. So we have to, it's entertainment to an extent, I would say.
Okay, Birdman. Well, everybody know that I'm going to speak on. I have my questions about the NBA. I have my questions about the NFL. I think it's some what's the word I'm looking for, Big T? Some turning your head so the books and everything will come out right.
Gamesmanship.
Yeah. I mean, I really think it's about the money.
Yeah.
Like the UConn situation, I think I stated before, you got to have them in the Final Four.
Yeah.
I mean, to keep the records going. Hey, Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Come on.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah. There are certain people.
They got to go out on top. So I think it is some, turned the other way for the referees, just so, that the bookies and, can I talk about that on this show?
Yeah.
So the bookie, I mean, I'm just being real. Yeah. So the money and everything just makes sense for everybody.
Yeah. But Aggie B, you starting to sound like Steph Curry's wife. You starting to sound like her when he lost, and then she had a problem. I'm like, ma'am, y'all just won 3. What are you doing? We're crying over spilled milk. But you got to wait your time, Aggie P. You know you got to wait your turn. But look at the Rockets. They waited their turn. Mike retired. They won 2. They had their turn. After Mike left, here comes Kobe and company. They had their turn.
So I think we basically saying the same thing. You got to let the stars get theirs.
Yeah.
Okay. Then when the stars get on out of there, let somebody else get theirs.
Mm-hmm. But look at Steph Curry and them. They took it from LeBron. And then here comes Durant. He came and rolled with him for a year, got that 3rd one, and got the 2nd one, and then he left.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then he went to Nets, and here comes Kyrie. Here comes James. And again, their time. Look at LeBron. He got hurt. He just won the championship. Jump on him right now. He can't take it. He older. Let's get this championship, baby. Are you going to go to the Nets? Or are you going to go to, I don't know, the team in LA that's going to come out of there, the Clippers? We saw how that worked out, but they chose the wrong boat.
Okay, Stats, you look like you were burning. Jump on in there.
If Aggie P is right about his statement he just made, we're going to see the Nets and the Lakers play in the finals. If he's right, because that's the most money you could probably make off an NBA Finals matchup. This season in particular, I feel like This is what people want to see.
Yep.
You want to see a super team go against LeBron. I mean, it's a repeating kind of trend here we're seeing over the years with the NBA in particular. Maybe not as much as NFL, but NBA, yes, for sure.
They'll get just as much as the LA Clippers make it. I promise you. Kawhi having to prove himself, Durant having to prove himself against Harden, trying to prove himself. Those are numbers right there, stats already. You don't need the king. You don't need the king. He got his last year.
Well, hey, back to the referee thing though. I think that you open the door up for the conspiracy theorists, because we know how crazy conspiracy theorists can be.
Yes, we do.
You open the door up when you keep seeing big no calls in huge championship events where you got the most eyes watching. And I mean, I could see it if you slipped it in there where it was a 50-50 call. But what we're seeing are calls that are clear. And it's like, how did you miss that? You know, I mean, is Ray Charles at the bottom of the screen here with the blue shirt on, referee in the game? You know, I mean,
let me say this: it's different when you're a fan compared to when you actually have to ref the game.
Oh yeah.
So I have had to be a referee for a whole bunch of games.
Yeah.
And yes, there's going to be a lot of calls missed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, you have one that's at the top of the field, you know, in his own box that basically is only there when you're trying to have, you're indecisive about a decision. I mean, you have 6 on the field, you're having a run with everybody. I mean, you think about it, every player that runs, you're having a run too. I mean, you're gonna miss stuff. And you're right. It does seem like a big conspiracy theory. You know, I'm looking at even the balls that Tom Brady had. How come he didn't get but so much compared to if it was somebody else, they probably would have been fired.
Yeah.
You know.
And can I ask you this, TP? Some people, I know 3 refs that have been refereeing over 15 years said she was out of control. She experienced contact, but she was already out of control. Now, I didn't agree with it, but I said, you have a point if you're saying she was out of control. I think that's what Aggie P was trying to allude to. I don't want to put no words in his mouth.
Well, you know, I mean, but then also, you know, to listen to everybody speak on this, I try to put myself in a situation if I was a referee. I mean, just human behavior, and I might be prone to go with a certain team, but that's probably why I'm not refereeing.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I mean, everybody think about that. Now, if you out there on the field, you got to be like, I don't care if that team win or I don't care if this team win. Okay, here come Aggie P in the stadium with a stripy shirt on, and the Aggies are playing. Big T, TP, I mean, come on now.
Well, I was about to say that. Now, I'm not going to lie with you. I'm with you on that. There are biases in every sport. There are. If this was my favorite player, as much as I would hate to call it, okay, I would, you know, your instinct, everything is supposed to tell you to call it.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I may look at him for a second and be so amazed and be like, well, I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it happens.
In other words, you're saying it's hard to take the human element out of it, because you know that's what I always laughed at. You know, because there was I don't know if you guys remember the 2002 national championship game between Ohio State and Miami, and you know Miami had won the game basically on the last play. All the players were storming the field, fireworks were going off, and then there was a late flag, and it was basically because the ref that called it, he's from Ohio, and they were playing Ohio State. How is he refereeing that game, you know? But anyway. All right, listen up, everybody. Be sure to catch this live at-home edition of The Crossover every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. while the pandemic is going on. And you can do that by tuning in to YouTube and catching our Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Once you're there, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the show. And then you can catch the audio version on its original day and time, which is Thursday nights at 7 p.m. And you can listen to that edition online at WLJFradio.com. And you can also download the Love and Faith 100.7 WLJF app. It's available both on Google Play and in the iTunes store. When we come back, It's time for the wrap up. You're listening to At Home with the Crossover.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometowninsurvice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
It's time now for the crossover wrap-up report. Let's send it back to the Tunnel Crew.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. And real quick, opening day, Major League Baseball kicks off this Thursday. Stats, give us your thoughts. What can you give us real quick on Major League Baseball?
All right. So this team is going to win it again this year. Bold prediction. Also, there's some great matchups on Thursday. Jacob deGrom's taking on Max Scherzer, Mets, Nats. You got the Rays and the Marlins, 2 Florida teams, both made the playoffs. That should be a good one. Yankees taking on the upstart Blue Jays. They got George Springer from the Astros. We got a lot of great games on tap. Braves, Phillies among one of the local ones you can watch on Thursday at 3 o'clock as well. So Dodgers play at 4, if anyone's interested. Cubs play at 7, I believe. So everyone enjoy the games on Thursday, and I'll be keeping y'all updated as we go along in the season. It's early, so no matter what happens opening day, no one freak out. It's 161 more games left. No one freak out.
So, Stats, I noticed your Tiger Woods picture. Are you having him in your thoughts and prayers?
Yes, I heard about him having his incident, and I got this book actually from the dollar store. So I just wanted to tell you all that I hope Tiger's okay. And I saw the documentary. It was really good. Y'all should probably watch it.
It was good. You know, it really was. Really was.
All right. Thank you, Stats, for the baseball update. And we'll be hearing more from Stats because baseball is firing up. So he'll be talking baseball a lot here in the coming weeks. All right, a couple of quick mentions before we move on with the standings and all that stuff. Caleb Love, remember last week we were talking about transfers and all that stuff in Carolina? He announced on Friday night via social media, unfinished business in Chapel Hill. He's coming back next year, so Tar Heel fans, relax. And then Shaka Smart is leaving Texas after their first round upset and heading to Marquette because they fired Dookie Wojciechowski as their coach. So Shaka Smart will be taking over that job in Marquette. TP, you look like you wanted to comment on that. You good? All right. Let's move on to our standings and everything, the update here. So as everybody knows, we've been picking round by round the NCAA tournament, and obviously we're not going to come on every week and say we picked this team, that team, this team, that team. But so all we've been doing is updating everybody on the standings. Last week, the standings went like this. I went 7-4. Birdman went 6-5. Radar, Stats, and Bro Mel, they all tied at 4-7. TP went 3-8, and Aggie P, I'm sorry, man. You went 2-9. So I'm sorry. I know you hate it, man. And the overall you good? So you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
The overall standings look like this. I've got 64 wins. Radar is second with 58 wins. Birdman is next with 54 wins. Aggie P and Stats are tied with 51 wins. TP is next with 49 wins. And then our combined guests, Bromel and Orangeman, have 39 wins. So there you go with the standings for this week. And to update everybody, remember last week we picked for an additional pick, and those have already been factored in there. We picked the Sweet 16. Everybody had to pick. The Tunnel Crew went 5-3 on the Sweet 16 last week, so not bad. I think we did pretty good as a combined crew. So there you go. We've got 2 more games that will be added to it tonight. Of course, that's the games going on right now. Gonzaga and I can't remember who they're playing. Who's Gonzaga playing? USC, that's right. And then Michigan and UCLA the next game. So we also picked those 2 games off as well. All right. It's time for our shut up and play candidate or your shout out. We'll start with the Queen. Queen, go ahead and give us yours.
I'm going to give a shout out to the Aggies because we are definitely, like Aggie P said, we are winning everything. We are winning everything. We set world records. So shout out to the Aggies.
I love it. Birdman, you're next.
I'm not to my own horn, but shout out to myself. Last week was 4th place. I'm in 3rd, so that's a blessing.
Hey, you made a move, right? Aggie P.
Shout out to all of the upsets. I mean, hey, man. I mean, these upsets have hurt me. And I mean, I'm proud of these schools, man. I watched the Oral Roberts game this past weekend.
Yeah.
Man, hey, fundamental basketball. I mean, high-low game. I mean, picks, back doors. I mean, I was impressed. So shout out, to all of the smaller schools that did well.
It's getting ready to be the Giants' time now, though, right?
That's right.
Hey, Stat, your go.
My shout out, the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're going to win on opening day. Then they're going to win the game afterwards because Trevor Bauer's pitching. Hometown kid. Go Dodgers.
Radar, you're up, my man.
All right. First of all, I wanted to make sure y'all saw my snack bowl right here. Is a Aggie T cup right here. First of all, and real quick, I wanted to let them know that I want Gino Auriemma to shut up and play when he got to face Don Staley and the Gamecocks when it comes to the championship. He gonna have to rely on all the calls because that girl gonna bring them girls ready to play. That's what shut up and play, Gino Auriemma. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Hey, my shout out goes to Coach Calvin Sampson, University of Houston. Got them boys back in the Final Four for the first time since 1984. Sampson been there 7 years. Congratulations, Coach, for getting it done. All right, for the Queen.
Blessings, everyone.
For Aggie P.
No weapon.
For Birdman. For Stats.
Stats don't lie.
And for Radar.
Narrow is the way, Tunnel Crew.
There you go. I'm your man, Big T, signing off and saying no matter where you are, look up and know that your creator is there. Until next time, see ya, and we might want to be you.
That's all we have for you today. So be sure to join us next week for the crossover. And remember, the Tunnel Crew don't play unless we have something to say.